Herzlich willkommen hier bei uns auf der Stone
Welcome to the Stone Ranch. We run an organic farm with around 70 hectares of land. Arable farming, suckler cows, Aberdeen Angus breeding and horseboarding with a farm shop and catering for guests.
Aufgrund des Klimawandels haben wir
Due to climate change, we are having more and more problems with extreme weather conditions. These mainly include summer droughts, but also periods of heavy rainfall.
mit starken Niederschlägen. Wir haben viele Jahre
We have been using short grass grazing for many years and now had to look for a new
im
system.
neuen System umsehen müssen.
In
In this video, we would like to show you how we introduced the mob grazing system on our farm.
Hochgrasbeweidung etabliert haben. Durch einen Freund sind wir
We first came into contact with mob grazing through a friend.
mit Mob Grazing
We tried to adapt the basic ideas of mob grazing to our local conditions.
an unsere Schweizer Verhältnisse.
This includes the long rest period and the short stocking time.
Die Rastzeit und die kurze Besatzzeit. Im Unterschied zum klassischen
In contrast to the classic mob grazing system, our animals eat the grass a little deeper in order to keep the yield per hectare as high as possible.
möglichst hoch zu halten.
Ein weiterer Unterschied auf
Another difference on our farm is that we are a mixed farm with arable crops and forage production. We would like to include the entire arable land in the grazing system.
Unser Weidesystem beginnt
Our
im
grazing
März,
system starts in March with the grazing of old temporary pastures and cover crops.
welche danach
These are then plowed for potatoes and maize. As soon as the grass is in full growth, we switch to mob grazing.
stellen wir auf Hochgrasbeweidung.
Wir erstellen
We create daily paddocks with the portion for one day. So we graze temporary and permanent pasture and also cover crops.
und auch Zwischenfutterbau.
Der entscheidende Punkt für uns
The decisive factor for us is not how deep we graze, but that the resprouting is protected.
geschützt wird.
That's why we have the so-called back fence. It protects the grazed area from being grazed again.
Abgeweidete Fläche vor Wiederbeweidung.
To bridge the dry summer months, we have integrated Sudan grass with clover undersowing into our grazing system.
Mit Kleeuntersaaten in unser Weidesystem integriert. Für uns ist das System nicht in Stein gemeißelt.
For us, the system is not set in stone. It is also called adaptive grazing, so we have to be able to react flexibly to the harvest at any time so that we can switch at the right
damit
moment.
wir im richtigen Moment umtreiben.
Now, we are interested in what happens in the soil with this grazing system.
Mit der langen Ruhezeit können die
The
Pflanzen,
long rest period allows the plants to build up a lot of leaf mass.
dass die Pflanzen
Research has shown that the plants can also release a lot of assimilates into the soil via photosynthesis due to the large leaf mass. This has a positive effect on the humus content of the soil.
höheren Humusgehalt im Boden
With a higher humus content in the soil, we also achieve a higher water storage capacity for the plants. And this water can then be used by the plants over a longer period of time.
dichter Bestand den Boden
In addition, a high, dense vegetation shades the soil better and thus protects it from evaporation for longer.
Standes können
The long rest period of the stand allows the plants to invest heavily in their root mass and thus form deeper roots. The deep roots also enable them to reach water from deeper layers of soil.
wiederum
During heavy rainfall, they can then better absorb the water and incorporate it into the soil.
ein weiterer Vorteil.
Another advantage is that the stand protects the soil from drying out due to wind.
Dazu kommt, dass
In addition, covered soils heat up less.
Ein Vorteil des täglichen Umtreibens
One advantage of changing the paddocks every day is the good control of the herd.
jedes Tier
This allows me to check each animal individually and recognize health problems quickly. The human-animal relationship is also very good as a result.
die kurze
The short stocking time also offers enormous advantages for the health of the calves in terms of parasites and diseases, as the animals come into a clean paddock every day.
täglich auf eine saubere Fläche kommen. Das System entspricht dem natürlichen
The system also fits in with the cattle's natural behavior. Firstly, they move around while grazing, and secondly, the taller plants allow the cattle to graze from top to bottom. Due to the remaining leaf mass and the protection of the resprouts, on our farm, we have observed a longer yield stability in summer and a higher stress tolerance of the plants.
Im Sommer und stresstolerantere Pflanzen.
Wirtschaftliche Vorteile sehen wir.
We also see economic benefits when the animals are on pasture for the whole season. This means that we don't have to keep the animals indoors. We don't have to bring in any fodder, and we benefit from better animal health. There is also no need for spreading farmyard manure. Thanks to the mob grazing system, we need fewer tractor hours and can therefore save energy.
Traktorstunden haben und dadurch Energie einsparen können.
We have been practicing this system for 6 years now. Of course, there are also some challenges in addition to the many advantages. These include providing shade for the animals, providing water, and mice infestation in permanent pastures.
Due to the effects of climate change, it is worthwhile for everyone to rethink his or her grazing system from time to time. In Switzerland, there are not yet many farms that practice this type of mob grazing system. And for many who are using a traditional grazing system, these approaches certainly take time to get used to. The mob grazing system is suitable for farms that are located in areas that are dry during the summer and want to provide their animals with pasture for the entire grazing season. This system can also include crop rotation areas for this purpose. This increases the forage area during the season. Anyone interested in this system will certainly need a certain amount of willingness to experiment. It is also helpful to exchange ideas with other farmers, for example in the Probio working groups.